What's up, Married at First Sight peeps? Thought I forgot about you, didn't you? No, I didn't. It's just last week, not much was happening on the show, so I thought I would kind of let more marriages play out, you know, kind of get things going before I start making videos. Sorry for the noise in the background. That's the AC. It's kind of hot where I am, so I don't want to be sweating bullets while I'm trying to talk to you guys. But anyway, I think the people they got on this season, they seem like they might be well matched, and of course it's in Dago, my home city, San Diego, 619. That's where I grew up, West Coast, West Side. But anyway, I think they got some people that look kind of evenly matched. We'll see how it plays out. Of course, these reality shows love drama, so of course, if they're not bringing the drama, they're gonna write some in. But let's start with Alexis and Justin. Now, Justin seemed to get into it with the guy that raised him last week, because when you tell your family and friends that you're going to marry a complete stranger, most of them are going to be cool with that, because they're looking for your best interest, and marrying a stranger to them isn't in your best interest in most cases. But people that go on this show are frustrated with the dating scene, which I definitely can understand, and they just want to try something new, no matter how outrageous it is, even at the risk of embarrassing themselves, in front of the world, as an audience. But Justin's a real tall guy. Alexis has been proposed to, I believe, 3 times before that, and then obviously it didn't work out. And they didn't really show much of them this week. So I want to move on to I believe her name is Stasia and Nate Dogg. He kind of looks like Scottie Pippen to me. But they look, just looking at them, they look like a real good match. They almost look like brother and sister. But I guess this isn't Alabama at first sight. It's Married at First Sight. I still got love for you guys in Alabama. It's just a joke. Anyway, they look like a match, and Nate had a bad moment last week where he was acting kind of freakish. Even I believe his friends in the audience at his wedding described him as a freaking bed, and he's like who says that or something, like I don't know if he's really embarrassed or just trying to he seems kind of egotistical a little bit. But he was happy with his bride coming down the aisle. He was he said something like, yeah, that's right, or something to that effect. But he seems like he's impressed. She seems impressed. He said she was pretty. She said he was handsome. So we'll see how it works out. When I saw her last week, I thought kind of she reminded me a little bit of Mirla, and a little, but maybe even Mirla came across not as bad at first, and then later it came out. But this lady seemed to be kind of like I don't need a man type of feel, or so business minded that maybe I don't know how well she'd work out being in a marriage where you have to compromise and put the other person first if you want the marriage to be successful, that is. But just looking at them, they look like a good match. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if Justin can kind of reel in his freakish ways. I know they showed them kissing in the shower, so it looks like they get along at least for a little bit. So moving on to Lindy and Miguel. Now, I believe last season we had a Lindsay, and I didn't really like the people that they brought on last season. I kind of like this group a little better, not just because it's in San Diego, but I think one of them even grew up in Bakersfield, and my grandfather lived in Bakersfield, so I'm familiar with that area too. Nowhere near San Diego, but it's in California. But Lindy and Miguel, she seems kind of cool, and Miguel seems kind of cool. He's into a lot of weird stuff that I would never get into, but she doesn't have a problem with it, which she should. But she seems very happy. She said something to the effect of she didn't want to say he was perfect, but I think she feels he's perfect for her. We'll see how they get along. She kind of reminds me of Pam from The Office, if you ever watched that show. I think she's, a good-looking lady, and he's a good-looking guy. So, like I said, these couples seem to be more evenly matched, and we'll see what happens with them. And when they were doing their wedding in he told her what he studied in college, or he had a PhD or in something. She was very, very impressed with that. And later, when they started talking, she asked him exactly what he did for work. And I believe she's a nurse or works in a hospital or something. But she says she has a lot of free time. And he was like, cool, I work from my laptop, so all I need is Wi-Fi. So she likes to travel. And he said, I can travel with you. So we'll see how that works out. Um, let's see. Kristen and Mitch. Now, these two, I don't know about them because when I saw the preview from what's going to happen later on, seems like they clash, and I don't know. I just don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. But going back to Miguel, I think it was who was it did the somebody did some poetry last week, and the group didn't seem that impressed with his poetry. It sounded like crickets. But I think Justin too. I'm jumping all around now, but Justin said something about being celibate, and I think Alexis didn't like that. I mean, she should like that. It shows discipline. Why would you want a guy that's sleeping around? The way people think today is so backwards. But it looks like an interesting season. Like I said, I like some of the people they have on the show. Some of them seem evenly matched. Of course, I don't agree with everything that these folks do on these shows, of course. And there's Morgan and Ben. I don't believe they showed them tonight. We'll see what happens with them. I think he's a lot older than Morgan. Stasia is older than Nate by, I believe, 2 years. So age doesn't really matter. It depends on your maturity, what you've been through, what you're willing to show to your spouse. Like I always say, you put your wife first, she's happy. The wife puts the husband first, he's happy. So everybody's happy. Like I always say, when you get married, it's no longer me. You flip the M and me, W to a we. Bars, you can have that one. But what did you guys think of episode 2 of Married at First Sight, season 15? Wow, can you believe that? 15 seasons. Like I said, when I was growing up, you would have one season per year. Next year, season 2. Next year, season 3. Now they cram a bunch of seasons into 1 year, so it gets kind of tricky. But these networks are so into ratings. They figure if we got a show that people are watching, we're gonna cram as many seasons into 1 year as possible. Anyway, what did you guys think of tonight's show? Like I said, do you think these couples are interesting? Do you think they're evenly matched? I still wish they would bring on older couples. They seem to go up in age a little bit. They got someone on the show or 2 people in their 40s, but I'd still like to see even older just to, have something different. We've seen, the same things, up to this point. Let's try something different. Dr. Viviana is no longer on the show. She's moved on, and it's Pastor Cal, and I think they're going to bring in this somewhat celebrity pastor or something. I'll miss seeing Dr. Viviana. She used to, keep it honest, keep it 100. She just seemed like a real woman that had a lot of interesting things to say, and I'll miss seeing her. Hope she has a great career. I haven't got a chance to see the after party with Keisha Knight so far, but we'll see. Let me know what you guys thought about that if you saw it. Anyway, this is the J. Roos Theory. Make sure to comment, share, subscribe. LSR forever. The reason I do this, be fearless. Yay, yay.